there, this is Jamie Henson. I am here with the VISTA program today, and we're visiting with Bryan Warner. Bryan Warner, good to have you.
Thank you.
Bryan is the Deputy Chief for the Cherokee Nation, and that's a really big role, I know, but today we're talking about your journey, where you started, where you came from. Tell us about your background.
You bet. Well, raised here in Southsaw, Oklahoma. Background, parents were quarter horse trainers, so we kind of traveled all over, but we made home base here, K through 12 here and then kind of ventured up to NSU and found myself with 93 credit hours, left to train horses on my own, but went back to school, have a degree in biology, minor in chemistry, found myself at Carl Albert State College teaching some chemistry. And that's kind of been it. And then, got into politics a little bit, elected official on the city council here, then on the tribal council of the Cherokee Nation, then deputy chief. So, okay. in short measure.
So you've been in a lot of different realms, and I know that higher ed is a completely different animal than maybe the political side or being as a tribal councilman or holding the position that you have. Tell us a little bit about what you enjoyed about being an educator.
Oh, the best thing about being an educator to me, obviously delivering material in the classroom, that was great, but I think really helping individuals find their pathway on their educational journey, which then leads to their career journey, family, growing, things like that. So really here at Carl Albert, one of the biggest things for me was to help individuals figure out what is that path that's going to lead to a career that's going to put money in the bank, food on the table.
Right. What were some of the challenges as an educator that you faced?
Oh, I mean, here, I think we have a great diverse demographic, but I think some of the challenges were having individuals being really work ready, and not really understanding what's on the other side of this educational journey. So my first thing I'd always ask, what do you want to be when you grow up, type question, but it's very important for them to know, because I can help them chart that path, but it needs to be their path, not Bryan Warner's path of what he thinks they need to do. And I think sometimes that was the most difficult thing, is getting the individual to buy in and have ownership of their life, in that setting.
Very much so. When did you decide you wanted to switch gears and look into working with the tribe?
I got elected in 2015. I think, in 2011, I was on the city council, and I got to thinking about tribal stuff. I was always involved as a kid, and that was kind of neat being on city council. We moved out of town, and there was just something still had an itch, and I like to serve. That's what we do here, at Carl Albert. We serve the public, our students, that we became family, and that tribal setting, it allows you to do that same thing on a larger scale, but I still get to play around in the world of higher ed, because we're very much plugged in, whether it's scholarships, programs, opportunities. And then I also get to go out and explore a lot of other realms and being on the front end of initiatives, and then helping to close that loop, if you will.
Sure. What do you think some of the most important aspects are? Like if you're a high school junior or senior, you're talking to them right now, and they want to go in to serve in a public office, whether it's for the tribe, for the state, as a state representative, state senator. What are some of the skills they need, and what are some of the most important aspects of serving?
Gotcha. I think one of the most important things about the work that we do, and really anywhere, a baseball player told me this, but he said, you've got to be able to become comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Right.
Put yourself out there. People say, hey, you got to get outside of your comfort zone. All of those same things. That is some of the most important advice that I could give anyone that is looking and realistically kind of, at that tribal level, no matter where you're at, make sure that you take plenty of courses and do things that prepare you to be in public. Always be prepared to have an answer. It doesn't have to be the exact answer. Never be scared to say that you don't know, but you have a team of people behind you and around you if you are in that setting, any setting really, and be able to lean in to those individuals, and be up on technology is always going to be important. Whether it's kind of strange to think of it that way, but technology is our friend and what we do, and it's so much easier now to fast track a speech or an outline and kind of get an idea of what's going on. So those are some of the important things, but I think the most important thing is figuring out how to find comfort in that uncomfortable setting, wherever
Sure.
you're at.
That's really great advice. What do you think are some of the most important things about serving in your community? Because I know that that plays a critical role if you're going to be in public office.
The most critical thing is have a listening ear. And you have to listen with these ears, but you also have to listen with the ears of your heart. Make sure you get on a level, and we have an idea of what a community needs. We have all kinds of mechanisms to study and forecast and all that, but realistically, what is their idea? So you want to get out of the way and empower them to lead that direction. Same thing that we did with our students here when we were student advisors. It is, and when we give you some ideas, here's some things that we can do, but what is it that you think that your community needs? And I think that's very critical in what we do at the tribe, so that we don't just come in and, oh, here comes the Cherokee Nation, they're going to do what they want to do. No, here comes the Cherokee Nation, and they're going to listen to what we think and see if it's feasible, see if it's sustainable, and let's move forward.
Okay. Speaking to our Native students, those that are interested in this career path, I know salary will be one of the first questions they ask. What do you make if you're a tribal counselor? What do you make if you're a deputy chief? And I know money's shouldn't be the main motivator, but it is a question they ask.
They've got a staggered tier. I'm not real sure on the council. I think they're right there on the close to a six-figure salary. I'm not real tip on where they start, but somewhere around $100,000.
Okay.
My salary right now is about $222,000, and it's staggered. So the next deputy that comes in, they're going to start low, like I did, and kind of work their way up. Same thing for the chief and all that. But I do remember my starting salary, because I worked here at Carl Albert's campus director. I was the deputy chief, and I wasn't the deputy chief, I was here, and then on the council, that combined total was about $114,000. I remember taking the deputy chief job and taking a pay cut, but it wasn't about the money. And I think that's the most important thing. But people do need to make ends meet. They do need to be able to provide for their family and some of these things. And there's comparables. If they're not a member of the Cherokee Nation, they want to be an elected official and they're a tribal member, go check out what those individuals are doing. See the time, the amount of work, because realistically there is no time off. You're connected all the time. You do kind of get away at times and stuff like that, but there's always something going on. So make sure that that's something that you really want to do, because it's very fulfilling and rewarding, but the commitment level is very demanding.
Very demanding. Are there internship opportunities or job shadowing opportunities?
Absolutely. We have several internship programs at Cherokee Nation. Then there's some over on the business side at Cherokee Nation Businesses. Those applications typically open up about the time the scholarship applications open up, because it's a summer type program. We have some more intimate programs where we're looking at, we look at all these interns, and we want to be able to see who rises to the top and be able to cherry pick the best, because we have, we want to make sure that the integrity financially, culturally, historically is intact, and we need good people, and we need a multitude of people with a multitude of talents.
Sure. I think Cherokee Nation plays a critical role for education in this region. I know that they're huge supporters of Carl Albert State College, especially here in our campus, providing technology and just affording us with options to be able to meet students where they are. And so I really appreciate the advice that you're offering today. Looking back, and I visited with Debbie Phillips this afternoon, and we talked about beginning with the end in mind.
Yes. And
if you could go back and give your younger self some advice on a career path and what to do, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, that moment when you look at a class, whether it's higher ed or whether you're at a technology institute or whether you're in high school. If you feel like, I know I need this, I don't really want to take it, I want to skip it until later, don't do that. Do it, take it, go up front, and always hit things head on. You got to be willing to run towards the storm, and sometimes that's what life can be, and people see that, and they see their educational journey as a storm that I just got to get through. run towards that, because then things will start to part away, and do that. I wish I could have told myself to do that, and don't work hard early,
Right.
because retirement really is something that I look forward to.
Sure.
But I had a lot of good times at a younger age, and I think everybody should. But I think there has to be, you kind of got to pull the reins on that a little bit, because the true fun is, as you and I both know, raising a family,
Right.
going to ball games, being a part of the community, spending time with friends, all of these things that can come later in life. And, and so many people put off those things. And I would tell my younger self, when you're probably in a 5th grade, 6th grade, you need to be thinking about a burial policy. I know that sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but there's things in life that are coming.
Right.
And you need to learn about financial literacy. You need to know what whole life insurance is. You need to look at a 401k program versus a pension. All of these things will play vital parts in where your career takes you, because some people look at, hey, that place, I want to take that job there. When they get there, well, they don't even have a pension. They don't have 401k. They have no retirement. So those things need to start percolating early and often.
Right. And that begin with the end in mind mentality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's great advice. I appreciate your time and your information.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know some of our students that are watching this are going to find that helpful.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Jamie.
Yep.
Well done.